wisdom with you through the use of oracle cards. I'm so excited to join you because it is our first card pull of 2026, and this year marks 10 years that the Shine Tribe Sisterhood has been alive and birthed into the world. So a decade ago, I had that feeling working behind the chair of my luxury vegan salon for 20 years now, which is crazy. At my 10-year mark, I realized that the women were saying the same thing. I feel alone, like nobody gets me. And as a Libra, I don't know, maybe it's just me and people in relationships, but I knew all these amazing people and I wanted to bring them together. And so I was really at the time, and not that I'm not now, but I was really into the full moon, the new moon, the cycles, and divine feminine energy. And so I thought, you know what, let's just bring women together. We'll call it a goddess gathering on a full moon and we'll see what happens. And I cannot believe this year marks 10 years that we've been doing that. It literally makes my heart so happy knowing that we've created the Shine Tribe Sisterhood that has reached all across the globe, from not just the US, but also the UK, Australia, literally everywhere. There are so many women that send me messages like, I got your oracle deck and I'm in Switzerland, or I'm in Norway, or I'm in Singapore. I've had so many incredible souls connect through the Shine Tribe Sisterhood. And because of that, because of the sisterhood, the Shine School was born, the Shine from the Inside Oracle was born, literally summer solstice, the goddess retreats, everything that I teach now, and that is my business and empire, if you will, that extends beyond the salon, started from that answering of a call. My soul was calling for community and sisterhood and a place where women could really lift each other up and support each other. And I just am sitting here in awe 10 years later of what has unfolded and what has transformed, and the thousands and thousands of women that have gone through our programs and healed, and the women that have come to the goddess retreat. In fact, I forgot my cards in the house. So that's why I'm a little late, but I forgot my cards in the house. And on the way back, I got a text from Mo, one of our goddesses that came to the retreat last year. And she's also one of my go-to girlies for her beautiful boutique, the Shishi Boutique. She's one of our vendors at all of our events, solstice, goddess gatherings. And she came to the retreat and she just sent me a text. It was a picture. She said, I just opened this bag and it had my planner from the goddess retreat. It had my little picture of baby Mo, because we always do an altar for our inner child. And it had a couple of other things from the goddess retreat. And she said, I just want to thank you so much for this experience. And I'm just so grateful that like, this is that reminder that this is the year I'm fucking kicking it into gear. So I just wanted to start off today's Woo Woo Wednesday, one, it being the first card pull of 2026, with a big heartfelt gratitude and thank you for all the love. Oh my God, Mo, I was just talking about you. I love it. Just want to say so much gratitude and thankfulness for the sisterhood, for the community, and for all the sparkle magic that we've created together. So with that being said, I want to start off by asking you, what is your intention for 2026? You know, when I shared an email about this recently, and I landed on the word consistency. When Chris and I were talking, we were in the car, he said to me, hey, I picked out my word for 2026. And this was like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, what? You did? Like, you're ahead of the game. He said, yeah, my word is intentional. I'm like, oh, I love that. And so immediately my first thought was, well, I want 2026 to be about consistency. As you guys know, I skipped a lot of Woo Woo Wednesdays, which I haven't done in 10 years. I literally have shown up every single Wednesday of my entire 10-year life and never missed. But this last year, with so many changes and grief and healing my mom and taking a step back from business and my assistant being on maternity leave, I gave myself permission to take a pause and to take a break. Now, I missed you terribly, but it really is just this reminder that my word, consistency, really landed and shifted into the realm and the energy of devotion. I was like, consistency, gross. That feels like work. That feels masculine. That feels like discipline in a way that doesn't feel good to my soul right now. And your goals have to feel good, otherwise you'll abandon them quite quickly. So for me, I shifted and I was like, what's the feminine approach to that? And the word devotion came up and I was like, devotion. I love that. Devotion to my body, to my mind, to my soul, to my craft, to my passion, my mission, my community. So devotion is my word for 2026. So drop in the chat below, what is your word for the year? Oh my God, I love you so much. I picked mine a couple of weeks ago too. Is the Aquariuses were ready. They're like, I am ready. Yes, year of gratitude and confidence for me. I love it. What about you, Coco? My word is engagement. Oh, I love that. Like engage with life. That's like, that's living, you know, that's so beautiful. So let me just pull up all the chat boxes here and see what you guys are manifesting for 2026. Well, hello. Okay, a card already flew out. We're just going to roll with it. Unapologetically. I love it. Hello, Rebecca. So good to see you. All right. What do we need to know? Our first reading for 2026. I am doing so well. I was just sharing how I'm in so much gratitude right now for this beautiful community. We are celebrating 10 years next month in the Shine Tribe Sisterhood. And in fact, I've been sitting with it like, I want to do like a full day celebration. Last night I went to bed asking my soul, like, how can I show up and support? Like, what can we do that would be fun? And I thought, oh, we should do our 5-day self-care kickstart challenge live again. I'm like, no. I want to do something else. I want to have like a party. And I know that everyone in the Shine Tribe is not local to the Dallas area. And so last night I went to bed thinking that one of the Sundays at the end of February, because that's when our 10-year anniversary officially is, I'm going to pick a Sunday and it's going to be 4 hours from like noon to 4. And we're going to have a full day celebration. We're going to burn the bullshit. We're going to set our intentions. We're going to vision board. We're going to do all the things that I know you want to do, especially if you live far away and you haven't been able to make it to my gatherings or my retreats. We're going to do a lot of those incredible exercises and connection experiences and activities where you actually get to engage with other beautiful souls in the community. So I'm dreaming it up right now. Three cards just came up along with the one that already flipped over. We're just going to trust those vibes. But I just want to share that because we're going to do something big. We're going to celebrate, and it doesn't have to be in person. Although I will be hosting my manifesting tea party on this spring equinox as always. And we've got our incredible summer solstice in June. We do it every year. I think this is our 6th year, which is so exciting. It's growing. And then my big 1-week, 7-day luxury goddess retreat that's happening in Florida. Y'all, I almost changed the location to the Dominican Republic. I almost did because I found the most incredible spot, but I'm going to give myself permission to stick with Florida, and we'll put Dominican on the books at the end of the year. So we've got incredible things in store. In fact, we'll be launching Evolved Couples Retreats dates as well. So many fun things in store, including the Elevated Life podcast coming back for real this time. We came back and then boom, my grandpa died and my mom got in the accident. So it was like, oh, just kidding. We don't have space for this. But we've got some episodes that we've been recording throughout last year with some incredible mentors and creators and founders of companies. So we've got those ready to go for you. So be on the lookout for that. I am so glad we are in Santa Rosa. I know, Erica, you are the reason why I didn't change it. I'm like, Erica's not going to be okay with the Dominican Republic. But it's so incredible. So I can't wait to share that when the time comes. I love giving the dream some space. Yes. And that's so incredible because, last year my goal was to create a coaching certification on all the chakra systems that I do and the astrological masculine and feminine manifestation that I teach inside my mastermind, but it just didn't happen. So this is my year. I'm going to finish my book, New to Woo, and I am going to complete my coaching certification so that I can teach you guys how I've built this empire over the last 10 years and how I am featured on Kajabi, which is such a beautiful dream come true. I didn't even know it was a dream going to be coming true, but it wasn't a dream when I started. But who knows the power of manifestation when you finally say yes to your soul's calling? Things come into your life that you could have never even dreamed of that are so meant for you and so perfectly aligned for you. Your girl needs AC. I got you, girl. I got you. I know my crew. That house in Florida was sick AF to die for. Yes, I love me a good bougie house. So if we're gonna do the healing and transformation work and have so much fun, it's got to be in the right setting. Anytime we teach inside the Elevated Life Club on our microdosing and mushroom masterclass, we talk about how the set and setting is one of the most important parts about doing a mushroom trip or any kind of psychedelic experience. And so the Goddess Retreat essentially without the mushrooms is a psychedelic experience. It's a deep transformational subconscious work. So the set and setting needs to be safe and luxurious and all the things. So that's why we picked bougie. Okay. All right. I'm going to dive in because I keep staring at this one card creeping me in the face and I don't like it for our first card pull of 2026. So we're just going to dive into it. This is the 5 of Pentacles. This is feeling like you are left out in the cold, like you have a sense of helplessness essentially. And so also three cards also came up for the rest of the year. So I'm going to start with this because as soon as I touched the deck, boom, that card flipped out. So I want to just address that elephant in the room. I mentioned recently in one of my emails about how the elephant in the room is the thing that we're so afraid to talk about. And the afraidness is actually what is actually what it is. It's fear, the fear that stops us from going after our goals, from trying new things, from engaging, from connecting, from allowing the unlimited abundance. And so starting off 2026 with this card is a powerful reminder that you don't have to do this alone, that you are not the victim to the circumstances of your life. You actually have a choice in the matter, and you have support that you can lean on. It's just a matter of being open to receive that. So kicking off with the Five of Pentacles, I'm gonna take this as a clear sign that you are not meant to do this year alone, that you are being invited to ask for that support, whether it's a friend or a mentor or a coach or a community that you need to lean on during this time of transformation and growth. That Five of Pentacles is saying, don't worry about what has left your life, what is changing in your life, what is challenging in your life, where you feel abandoned, essentially. That all of that was to create space so that you can actually step into this new evolved vision. You know, they say when your vessel becomes when things shatter, essentially your soul, when your vessel shatters and you feel that breakdown in your system, it's because that version of you can no longer hold the light and the amount of energy and love and co-creation that's trying to move through your system. And so we have these breakdowns physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, to actually break the mold so that we can rebuild again from a place of solid foundation, rooted in wisdom and love and not in fear. That's what all of 2025, honestly, 2020 to 2025 was, that recalibration of fear, letting it go, the fear of abandonment, the fear of rejection. And in fact, Chris teaches in his hypnosis program that the only fear that there is, all fears, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of blah, 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 like all the fears that you can make up, but besides like danger, okay, like danger, right? That's one thing. But all those fears that we project are actually one fear. They all boil down to the exact same fear. And that fear is the fear of being unlovable. And what I have learned is when you love yourself, then that fear disappears because we're no longer putting that pressure on other people to validate us. So there's that on that Five of Pentacles. Now let's dive into the three cards that came up as well for 2026. All right, next card is the Two of Cups, which is perfect because I was just talking about not doing it alone. And two is the card of partnerships. This is the card of teaming up with people who share your vision. It's a card of love and union. In fact, it is the Lover's card of the minor arcana. So this is telling me that your relationships are going to be changing in 2026. You're going to start aligning with people who get you, who see you, who cheer you on and lift you up, and also really moving into community with people who have the same likes and interests. I find, like I shared at the beginning, 10 years ago, all the women that were sitting in my chair were saying, nobody gets me. I don't have that community that I can plug into, which is why I created the Shine Tribe Sisterhood. So this Two of Cups is saying it's time to team up with partners who get you, who actually see your vision, because that's how you're going to go far. You can team up with people who are great at what they do, who have the accolades, the whatever, but if they're not in alignment with you, they can only take you so far, because that framework or that system or that thing that you're gaining from them is in alignment with their energy and not yours and your true integrity and authenticity. So it's important that you team up with people who see and have that shared vision. All right, let's keep going. Engagement can also be not hiding, asking for help, as you said. Absolutely. That's engaging with another person. Whether it's just to compliment, it's to get curious, it's to get coached by, it's to coach others. Like engagement for me, I just recently shared with someone, they asked me, what is a leader to you? And I said, a leader is the person who will walk into an elevator and be the first one to speak, to be the first one to offer love or kindness or presence and connection. So that engagement actually is the perfect word, because I feel like that's exactly the energy that we need to step into leadership as light workers, is just be the first person to offer love and you win. All right, next card that comes up is the Eight of Swords. Interesting reading today, y'all. 2026, I know it feels good. All my coaching clients have been like, I don't know what shifted in the moon or the planets, but it feels like a brand new year. Literally, it feels like a new energy. I've like left behind the past. And that is true, which is interesting because that Eight of Swords is about having basically a blocked mentality. This is saying you're trapped by your own thoughts, your own thinking. So the thing that's holding you back right now is you, which is great news, because if it's you, then you can change it. If it's someone else, you got to work with, there's other people involved. partnership, right? So this is saying that you have to take responsibility for your half of partnership and make sure that your mindset is in alignment with where you want to go. This is why I coach people, because so many people, I will be having conversations in our coaching calls, and they will just flippantly say, well, that's going to be so hard. Pause. Negative mindset, limiting, lack. It's going to be so hard already presupposes that it's going to be hard. And if we're trying to make things more effortless and flowy and easy, then we have to change our languaging around it too. And sometimes just having that accountability for people to listen to how you speak to yourself is everything. It's so easy to stay trapped in your mind and know that you're a shit show. But once you start sharing it out loud to someone else, that's when you really see that reflection in that mirror of like, oh, actually my languaging is limiting. And it's saying like, I'm never going to get there. It's going to be hard to lose the weight. It's going to be hard to come off antidepressants. It's going to be hard to do XYZ. We have to make sure that our own mental limitations aren't the thing that's blocking us from allowing more into our life or engaging and taking action and putting ourselves out there. So let me ask you this before we dive into the last card. What mental pattern are you breaking up with in 2026? What are you letting go of? Maybe it's an old story you tell yourself, like, I will never make a difference as long as I'm, if I'm not skinny enough, or nobody will like me because of my teeth. Or, I've heard some weird shit, y'all. I'm never going to have that body I had in 7th grade. That was a legitimate fear someone gave me. I was like, let's revise, because none of us are going to get back to 7th grade bodies. Okay. So what is that negative story that you tell yourself? This is an exercise we do at Goddess Retreat. We work on those limiting labels, identifying where do we hold ourselves back, speak negatively to ourselves, and then we have to reframe and empower. Imposter syndrome. My question to you on imposter syndrome is, who are we impostoring? Like, nobody can be you. So how could you ever be an imposter of your authentic self? Tell me more about that. I'm not devoted enough or disciplined enough. And you know what? I'm going to be honest, Brett. You might be right. Okay. You might be right. Maybe that is a story you're telling yourself because it's the truth. And the truth sometimes hurts, but it is a liberation. It is setting you free. So if you're telling yourself the story, I'm not devoted enough or disciplined enough, check in and see if the story is true. We have to have awareness first. Awareness is we tell ourselves the story. The second is identify, is this story true or not? And babe, if that story is not true for you and you're like, I am devoted, I am disciplined, I'm doing all the damn things, then that's when we know we need to update the story, because our subconscious is still rooted in old thoughts. But if it is true, then we have to take responsibility and say, okay, where could I be more disciplined? Where could I be more devoted? So I think there's like a fine line between catching those negative thoughts. Are they helpful and valuable? Will they move us forward? And is this true? Or is this an old story that is rooted in what my mama used to say to me, and I do not identify with that? It's time to let it go. Okay. I don't give myself enough credit. I tell myself I need to do more, learning to key that go. I think there's a typo there. I don't need to require someone else's version of perfection. Let, not key. Okay. Learning to let that go. Okay. Got it. Yes. As far as the do more, again, ask yourself that question. What do you feel like you need to do more of? And if that's something that's going to benefit your life, more exercise, more connection with people, more putting myself out there, more, what more is it that you even feel like you need to do? Because maybe the more that you feel like you need to do is actually the thing that would put you into alignment with your goals. So I feel like, again, maybe it's the pressure of I need to do more rather than acknowledging like I'm actually doing the damn thing. So I think there's a fine line between taking ownership and recognizing like I'm telling myself this negative story because it's true and I need to step it up and get on my yoga mat. Hi, that's my story. Or is it, oh, this story is old. This is what my mama used to say. This is what my ex-partner used to say. Like, this story is not me anymore. I am doing enough. I am devoted. I am disciplined. Okay, I have to look at the accolades as opposed to walking in it. Why do I have to remind myself? It's normal, sister. It's normal, but it's just time to own it now. I feel like we're old enough. We should just fucking own it. Own it with confidence. All right, last card for the week. Page of Pentacles. This is about finding our passion. And honestly, this is a card of manifestation. So sorry, just checking these comments over here. When it comes to the Page of Pentacles, this card represents a new beginning and new opportunities for financial growth. This card is the pursuit of knowledge and more skills. So it's funny because my girlfriend and I, we did the whole like write 13 affirmations and then burn it. Well, what she got was what I thought was incredible. She got learn one skill per quarter. So we already talked about is photography. What were the other ones? Photography. Shoot, I forgot all of them. I know photography was one of them, but I thought that was so smart to put that as a goal. Like learn a new skill. Skills are what make you money, y'all. So when I see the Page of Pentacles, this is saying it's time to either learn a new skill or deepen that craft or get paid for it. I mean, this is a financial opportunity card. We're in the suit of Pentacles. So this is showing me that when you stop playing victim and like sad lost story, you team up with the right community, the right people, the right aligned clients, you change your mindset so that you don't feel self-imposed, you don't feel limited, you don't feel like you're the one that's like talking shit. That's called self-love, confidence, and freedom. It's what I teach in Shine School, y'all. And then Page of Pentacles is saying it's time to get paid for those skills. It's time to share your gifts with the world in a way that gives back to you. When you're sharing your gift, you need to be gifted back. And so this is going to be a year of cleaning up our negative thinking so that we can actually be on our own team and allow the unlimited abundance. All the work we're doing is we're already doing the work, but we're not allowing ourselves to receive. So why don't you not do any more? Since Erica mentioned that, why don't we not do more this year? Rather, we appreciate more, because that gratitude is an amplification and a magnetization of all the goals and the things you want. To appreciate means to make more of. So instead of doing more, we appreciate more, and we allow more by letting go of those stories of, well, it'll only happen if the sun is in retrograde. That doesn't happen. It'll only happen if the moon is upside down. It'll only happen if I make $1 million. It'll only happen if my husband's 7'10". We have these limiting stories that sometimes can be so ingrained and rooted into our normal conversation that we don't even realize we're limiting ourselves. So what I'm seeing is, don't do it alone. Don't fuck it up. And let yourself get paid for the things that you're good at. That's what 2026 has in store for us. Yes, old stories. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun getting to read our first tarot for 2026. I am so stoked. I'm going to pull one card from my Shine from the Inside Oracle deck so that we have a self-love ritual to tap into, to really embody that sense of, how do I, oh my God, keep your thoughts positive. How do I keep my thoughts positive? Because that 8 of Swords is showing up saying like, I'm the one limiting myself. It's time to let it go. So I'm going to pull a self-love card from the Shine card. Drop some hearts in the chat if you're here live with us. Let me know we're still kicking. We're excited for 2025. I've been recognizing and having gratitude for all the steps over the last 10 years. I love it. You guys are so amazing. What is this? Request to join. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fun if I did wouldn't that be fun? I've been thinking about new series to do, like bringing you guys on. You know, I talked a lot about Spirit Says and what that looks like. One of the visions that came to me was just bringing people on and doing a little quick reading for them, or mediumship. So I love that you requested to join. That's super cute. Okay, what is our message for today? Oh, there it goes. I was like, it was popping up. Did y'all see it? Yay. Oh, okay. Our self-love Shine from the Inside message for 2026. Holy balls, y'all. The reading came out swinging. I had 3 coaching calls yesterday. So maybe, and I sat here all day yesterday doing calls. So I think that like tough love energy is still coming through hard. Turn lemons into lessons. This is one of those potent cards of the Shine deck, because this is all about taking the victimhood, the loss, the pain, the hard shit, and turning it into the growth, the wisdom. In fact, one of the lessons I teach inside Shine School is all about turning lemons into lessons. I have you write down all your turning points, your traumas, your like grief moments, those hard parts in your life that really fucking sucked. I have you write them down and extract the wisdom out of it. What good came from this? Who did I become because of #MeToo? You know, because I had narcissist fathers, how did that support me in my relationships moving forward? You know, like we take those negative things and we find like, because #MeToo, I'm now an advocate and I speak up, throat chakra open for women, and advocate for the empowerment, the self-love, and the boundaries. Hello. So for me, this card is reminding you that all of these hard turning points are painful parts in your life are actually to teach you growth and wisdom and to build your resiliency and confidence. So, 2026, I see you. I see you coming in hot. Turning lemons into lessons. So, what is a lemon that you experienced in 2025? Let's not go back to inner child or younger years. Like, you can book a session for me if you want to do that. But let's just do it for this last year. In 2025, what was your biggest lemon? What was your biggest lemon? And drop that in the chat if you feel safe to share. And then the next part of that is, okay, we identify there was a lemon in our life in 2025. The first thing that is so obvious and comes to mind to me is my grandpa died unexpectedly in a car crash with my mom that resulted in me moving back home for 6 months to take care of her. That was a pretty big lemon. I didn't expect that. But the lesson that came from that was I will never get that time back with my mom. The laughter, the joy, the relationship that we've built. I mean, I've been with Chris for 20 years this year. So I have not been home in like 20 years besides the occasional holidays and, little family get together. So getting to actually spend quality time with my mom as an adult, because I left 20 years ago when I was 20. I was hurt. I was trying to get the fuck away from her crazy, my dad's narcissism and anger. I was escaping from the small town. So to have to come back as a rooted, grounded, authentic, confident, powerful fucking goddess, like, I'm owning this town. Hell, I'm teaching yoga in downtown Farmersville, y'all. What a lesson that came out of that lemon. So crazy that I'd come back 20 years later to teach and share and give back to the community that I tried to run away from. So that was an interesting lemon for me that turned into a lesson. So what about you? What was the lemon and what was the lesson? Finally collapsed and led me to figuring out rare conditions that I have. I am empowered now. Yes, I love it. Mindful says that I get in my own way. My saying yes to all limits my ability and to be fully in the spaces I really love. Yes, girl, you got to use that 7 or above rule. In 2026, it is all about the year of alignment. We've got to make sure we are doing the things that we love. And when we say yes to the things that are 7 or above and all those little 5s and 6s that are like, oh, they could work, but then that basically builds up the next opportunity to be even more aligned and more grand. So honestly, the more you say no, I only found this to be true because of hair. There was literally hair I would not do. I will not do old men hair. I will not do men's hair. I will not do like old boring perms and roller sets. I will not do perms and chemical straighteners. There's like a lot of things that I will not do at my hair salon. And because I literally can't or won't or don't want to die from the chemicals, it showed me that I started building this aligned clientele of women who were, hey, whoa, bees coming at me. I built this incredible aligned clientele for women that are looking for the transformation and empowerment work more than just hair. I started attracting clients who wanted readings and to come to my events and do more of the magical spiritual work than I just offer beyond the highlights and the hair cutting. So because I said no to the men, the kids, the old perms, the this, the that, like it actually brought me the perfect clientele. And so the same is true in any other business. Perms are gross. 8s only, shoot, maybe only 9s. You know, it's so funny, love. Chris has said years ago, he's like, we should play 9 or above. I just popped back with, babe, we'd have no friends left. And I love you. All my friends are amazing. And at this point, you are all 9 and above. So maybe we can't, maybe it's time to up level to 9 or above. Multi-passionate women here with too many ideas. Girl, you are preaching to the choir. I sent out an email last week and the title was Messy Multi-Passionate Ideas. That had the highest open rate I think I've had in years, because I think at this point we're recognizing that we're women of many talents, but we have to be mindful in how we structure and set up that foundation so that all of the businesses and ideas that we have, we can do, but they have to lean on each other and live in this foundation that makes sense, that can support the growth. Because I always say, when you're wanting to start a new idea, can you invest 18 months in it? Because it's not gonna just be a startup overnight, just success and everything's going. You've got to build the brand, you've got to build awareness, you've got to gain clientele and build trust. Like, so when you have 7 different ideas like I have, you look at me now and go, wow, she's done everything. She's an Oracle deck and cards and courses and clubs and memberships and blah, 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 and all fucking yoga pants and all the things. But it was years of choosing what is the base, like what can I start the business foundation on. And for me, that was coaching. And then it built like the next piece, and the next arm was like, well, I'm coaching and I'm saying the same thing over and over. I might as well make an online course called Shine School. Wow. Thousands of women have gone through Shine School and they are not consistent with their self-love and self-care, even though they know what to do. So, well, for me, reading cards as a medium is my consistent self-care practice. So I thought, well, I'll turn all these lessons into a self-love oracle deck to get people consistent. So all of this was built one thing at a time, not all at once. So if you're multi-passionate like me, yes, fucking go for it. It's possible to do it all. You can't do it alone, and you can't do it all at once. So you need to have that structure so that you can start building that foundation and then adding on those other ideas you have. This year for me, I'm going to dive back into physical products. Chris has got an incredible plant-based product that we're excited to share. And I'm really, really drawn to go back to my idea from 10 years ago of creating a vegan empowering lipstick line. So there's that. Just throwing it out there for y'all. Now I'm just randomly talking. Okay. It's so good to see you, Steph. Oh my gosh. So amazing. Okay. Mindful, when it comes to all of your ideas, where are you at? What are your passions? Where do you feel stuck? Like, what are you building? Okay. So beautiful reading for 2026, very hold you accountable type energy. It's so funny because we saw this GIF the other day, and it was a coach in the gym, and he was like smacking the guy's belly while he was doing bench press, and he was yelling at him. He was doing all these things, and he was like pumping him up. And Chris just turns to me, he goes, yeah, that's you, Britt. Like, you're that kind of coach. I'm like, can you send me that GIF? Because I need to put it out there. I love being that empowering, just fucking go for it. And that's what this message was all about. It was just straight to the point, cut, no fluff, just take responsibility, clean up your mind, team up with people who get your vision, and start charging your worth and start sharing your skills so that you can make some moolah. You deserve it. We need the poetry book. I know. Okay, so he sent me 4 different poems this morning. I'm putting together a calendar for him. I don't think Chris's mom will ever see this. Chris's mom's birthday is this month, and he's written a poem for every single month and every single zodiac. So I'm putting together a calendar. That'll be his first imprint poetry something. I don't plan on selling it right away, but if you want it, let me know. But he is editing every single day. He's got 3 books in the works right now. 3. He didn't just write 1, he wrote 3 at a time. So he is editing all 3 of those books. That is the plan. I swear if it's not out in 6 months, like, come find us and yell at him, because I've been on him. The psychic told me 10 plus years ago in 2012, she said, honey, you're going to have to help him. And I really didn't understand what she meant at the time, because Chris has always helped me. He set this whole thing up to get me live today. Like, he's always there helping me. And so now it's clear. Chris has so many good multi-passionate ideas, and he's so busy helping and healing and all the things that he doesn't really care to like put it out on social or to get it out into the world, aside from who's directly in front of him and in his physical presence. And we need to change that. So he sent me a text this morning from his office. He said, I'm wrapping up certification, my hypnosis certification, because we've been asking for it for a long time. And I'm finishing editing these 3 books. And what else? He said one other thing. I don't remember. But, can you please listen to the past life regression audio I just remade? So he has these guided hypnosises that you can listen to. And he's updated the past life regression one. He wants me to listen. And what a terrible wife. I've been not listening. So I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go listen to the past life regression so that I can help my sweet husband. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Chris is a wonderful poet. I am just love him so much. He's a king. Okay. Yes, lipstick line, just checking with all your comments. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been so fun. I think I've got some extra time on Friday. I think we need to start Spirit Says, and I'm going to bring people on and just do a little mini reading for you guys and just see what comes through, see what happens. Like, the only way to get started is to start. And I'm over here trying to make it perfect. It's going to be a YouTube series, and I'm going to set up this perfect camera, and we're going to film all this content about how to trust your intuition. Fuck that. I'm just going to go live on Friday. We'll make it happen. Okay, that's how we start. This is proof in action. We just start. That's it. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been so fun getting to deliver your first 2026 reading. And it was an honest one of getting your shit in order so that you can really allow all the dreams that you've been planting for so long to manifest. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys later. Peace.